everyone. Today we are going to walk through comparing and contrasting words. So I know that you know how to think through comparing and contrasting, but sometimes whenever we go to put that in writing, we struggle with what to say other than these things are the same and these things are different. In order to spice up our writing, we're just going to work on some different words. And I think with these worksheets today, one of the most important things is to not overthink it. So watch this video, make sure that you let me walk you through it slowly, but I think it's way more simpler than we're going to try and make it. So let's just start out with that mindset that we can totally do this. We've done this before. We're just going to make sure we get our worksheet done, turn it in, get our points. So tomorrow you will have a compare and contrast assignment in language arts class. I know this is language arts enrichment, which is why I am giving you the hookup early on how to make an A. So these are the words we use whenever we're comparing. Comparing is whenever we're talking about how things are alike. So like, both, similar to. Now we're getting into some that we don't always use. Likewise, same as, just as well as, and just like. So these are some phrases and words that we don't use all the time, but can really make our writing sound more elevated and sound on the level that we want to sound. A big thing about seventh grade is I always believe that you guys have the ideas you need to have, and I know that we struggle with how to get those out on paper to prove to people that we have these great ideas. These phrases are going to do that. So adults will hear you use those phrases and be like, oh, light bulb, I need to listen. Is that fair? Probably not. Does it make sense to you? Maybe not. Is it realistic though? Totally is. So, an example for that is both dogs and cats make great pets. You are now going to write an example about anything that is school appropriate that you want using the word both, just like this did. So do that now. You will go up to your text box, draw your box, and write it. Same thing with similar. Similar to roses, daisies are also a popular flower. You can use popular if you want, but you can use any comparison that is school appropriate as long as you use the word similar. And then same thing with as well as. So go ahead, if you want to pause this video and write your 3 sentences, you may. Next, we're going to talk about contrast. So contrast is what happens whenever we're talking about how things are different. So something like a topic that some of you might really be on, especially since we've been virtual, is your gaming systems, right? Some of you got new gaming systems. Some of you have viewed or researched or watched the YouTube unboxing of certain gaming systems, and you could talk about the differences in those forever, all right? So you can totally do whatever subject you want on these, but I would choose something I know a lot about, right? I don't care if you know a lot about color or art or different types of anime. Like, I'm here for it, all right? So words that we use to contrast are unlike, whereas, different from, as opposed to, in contrast to, rather than, on the other hand, and instead. And then we're going to practice with 3 of them. So unlike fish, elephants are terrible swimmers. Unlike, and then you can talk about whatever you want here for a sentence, but use the word unlike to start. So go ahead and write that sentence, write one with in contrast to, and write one with whereas in the middle. I know that's a new word for some of us, but it makes us sound super smart, so we love it. If you need to pause the video in order to do that and then come back, you may. So now we're reading sentences other people wrote. We're not trying to write our own yet. And you're going to tell me if it's comparing or contrast. And then also write out the signal word, right? These words from up here. Which of these words let us know it was comparing or contrasting? So the example would be, birds as well as bats often like to build nests in high places. If you don't want to draw a text box, right? We know that we draw a text box by clicking the T with the square, clicking and dragging to make a box. If you don't want to do that because you're like, that is a lot of clicks, Miss Vaughn, I'm already clicked out. I don't have a problem at all if you want to take a shape Would it always be a circle? Do one of these. And just highlight one of these. So if you wanted to say compare and click and drag this shape, I would appreciate it being brighter than gray just so I can grade easily, right? Or put it under it like a line so I know that you don't mean the other one. There we go. However you want to do this is fine with me. So compare, contrast, write it out, highlight one of them. As long as I know what you're saying, we're fine. And then what signal words from up above in our lesson gave you that idea? So birds, as well as bats, often like to build nests in high places. We know that as well as is our signal. We type that here. This worksheet looks like a lot, but that's all you're doing the whole worksheet, guys. Okay? And then for our third worksheet, use the recommended signal word to complete the sentences. Okay? I don't need you to know a lot about ducks and chickens to be able to write the sentence, or ants and spiders, okay? You could say, so please compare apples and oranges using the signal word likewise. Apples have seeds, likewise oranges have them too. You could literally say spiders, just like ants, have more than 2 legs. That's it. You don't have to know, you don't have to be an expert on the topic to write your sentence. And then it says, please write a paragraph that both compares and contrasts television and computers. Guys, this is not a 3-point paragraph. This is not where we rack our brain. This is not where we give our full effort. This is, let's say, 5 sentences. You can do televisions and computers, but you can also do 2 different gaming systems if you wanted, or 2 different bands if you really like 2 different types of music, or 2 different types of K-pop artists. I don't care what you do. I'll love you through it. Compare and contrast. Make sure you use your signal words from up above. Circle each signal word that you use. The brighter color you use, the faster and easier I can grade your work. And that is the end of our time, guys. That is the end of our work. So put in your best work. Do not get overwhelmed by these pages that look like they're a lot, because you're not having to do much. You're just writing compare. And what I would also do is I'd type out compare. Okay, my uncle always wears shoes, but my aunt prefers to wear sandals. So we know that that one is contrast. And then if you click the edge and you go Command C, that's going to copy it. Command V is going to paste. And you can drag it to the next one, okay? In contrast to is clearly a contrast, so I'd do that. Command C, Command V, get another one ready to go. Is everybody with me? So that you don't have to type the whole time. I'm here to make life easier. As always, message me on Schoology or Gmail if you have any questions. I will always get back to you. Stay safe. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.